Really, Oliver? Anyways, what is up, all my fellow weebs and weebettes? I am your host, AnimeALX. I'm here with my friend and my co-host, Azure Sky, and we will be going over making a tier list over each Wyvernride in the game. Now, to basically explain stuff, S tier is the best Wyvernrides in the game. A tier means that they're good. B tier means that they're average. They're kind of meh, middle ground. And C tier means that they are bad. And D tier also stands for disqualified. So might be spelt that. But yes, D tier is disqualified, and that means all the apexes are in D tier. Ibushi, Narwa, and All-Mother Narwa are also in D tier because you cannot Wyvern ride them. So, with all that being said, let's go into our stream, or our little tier list stream. First up, we got Aknasom. We stated it is in B tier. The reason why it was in B tier is because the attacks are pretty slow wind up. You got a really nice double hit attack on your back heavy, and you can also do you can also cause fire blight with your back light attacks. It's fairly fast on foot, so it is essentially average. Really good actually for early game. Probably one of your best early game Wyvern rides, but towards the end of the game, it doesn't really hold up. Next, we got Mudron, which is in C tier. And Mudron in C tier because his mud gets in the way and can hinder your allies' movements. Mudron also has very slow wind up on his moves. Now, if this was in the rampages, Mudron would go all the way up to A tier, but sadly in normal hunts, Mudron is way too slow to actually do anything, and his mud probably won't end up actually ticking for a lot. Next on the list was Anjanath, straight B tier. Anjanath is slow movement speed wise. He doesn't really have a lot of attacks, but he has a really good charging attack that does really great damage, and if he gets charged up in his flaming snout mode, then he will do even more damage. His finisher isn't really that great, but it travels really far, so pretty average Wyvern ride even by late game standards. Then we have Arzaros, who has a really great back heavy, really great charging forward finisher, and fast light attacks to catch monsters off guard and interrupt their attacks. He doesn't really do much, doesn't blight or anything, so he's pretty average in that sense. But since he's pretty fast, I do give him B tier. You can get off a lot of Arzaros combos before having to finish the ride. Then we move Barioth into A tier because Barioth has a very great back heavy, can ice blight, and his ice tornadoes do a decent amount of damage. We put him in A tier due to his speed, the ability to elementally blight, and his damage on his back heavy, and how it can track monsters really nice. We put Barioth in B tier because he only really has one good move, and that's his charge attack. He's pretty average in that, does decent amount of damage. I don't know if he water blights or not, but he's in B tier. Then we have Bosario. We put him in A tier because he has really powerful charging beams. Even though he doesn't really have a good, or probably a good light attack, and not really that great a finisher, the damage of his back heavy makes up for it, and it can go even higher. The damage could go even higher when he is enraged, giving him A tier due to his sheer damage. And then we also give Basil Geese A tier because he has 3 great options to attack. He has a fireball that can fire blight people and ignite his own bombs. He has his back heavy attack that can spread out bombs that also leads into a body slam that does really nice damage, and then the bombs will add on to damage. Really great for facing monsters like Diablos and other wider monsters like that to hit, really maximize all your bombs. And he has a really nice charging movement tool to close the distance. In Rampage, he's definitely in S tier, but in normal hunts, he's definitely in A tier due to the slowness of how his moves come out, but they do a lot of damage, and he's very versatile. And we got to Bishaten, and we said he was B tier. He can status with his fruits, and he has a really nice movement tool with his back heavy, albeit is very slow, and it takes a minute to actually get into his movement tool, and you can either end up missing or coming up short. His finisher is also really good, and we do give him B tier. And then we came. Now we have fully caught up from when our previous stream had messed up, and now we are off to talking about Chameleos. Where do we rate Chameleos?
I put a little bit more thought. I think just A tier.
A tier?
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's like Basil. However, he is like the top of A tier simply because he does a lot of damage very quickly and he can't poison. The problem with Basil is that he's just slow. Like actually putting out the bombs and damage is slow. But Chameleos is just like instant damage, like
So
super
wouldn't he
fast.
be
Like everything's just like snappy.
So wouldn't he be S tier?
Yeah, sure, why not? I just put A because like he does the same damage as Basil, but yeah.
Well,
He does
I'll
a
put
lot
him.
of damage super quickly.
He's definitely low S tier. If he does the same damage as Basil, then
I'd say low S tier because I think he just the fact that he just does it faster makes him better.
Yeah.
And also, he can poison. Poison is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like his back heavy is like the poison beam, just like super strong.
I agree.
I actually want to test this out.
Oh, what do you want to test out?
Something really fun I thought of right now is that that he steals your buffs, right?
Yeah.
From the spirit birds. I wonder if he gets an attack bird, does he do more damage as Wyvernride?
That's interesting, actually. If that happens, then I definitely would say he's more of a middle S tier, but I would say he's definitely the worst S tier. He barely skates by, only because he does the same amount of damage as Basil Geese, at least faster, and
a lot faster.
Yeah, a lot faster.
Basil takes a while.
Yeah, so definitely a S tier. Valstrax, S tier. He is so fast. You can go through the whole map with him, probably twice around in a single Wyvernride. That's probably an actually, no, that's probably not an exaggeration, at least on Flooded Forest. But
it depends if you have like the extended like Wyvernride skill, but it doesn't matter. It's still extremely fast. Wyvernride.
Valstrax is extremely fast, and Valstrax, depending on if he's charged up or not, still does a lot of damage. In his non-charged up form, I think he has the dash attacks, and in his charged up form, he has the Kamehameha.
With the back heavy,
with the back heavy. And his light attacks,
which is obviously best.
And his light attacks do come out pretty fast, and he does a lot of damage to people or to other monsters. And his finisher is one of the best finishers in the game. It completely does a ludicrous amount of damage. But if I were to compare every S tier ride, Valstrax would possibly only be a little bit better than, I would say, Teostra. He would be in the mid S tier.
When we get there.
Yeah, when we get there, you'll figure out why. But next up on the list is Diablos. I say A tier?
I say
or B.
B, honestly. Because like all he does is just damage. That's pretty much it.
Okay, all he does is just damage and charge.
There's no X factor like Basil. Like he does a lot more damage. Barioth can slow down people with his ice breath, and Bosarios is just sniper that can also burn. Diablos is just like damage. And also something weird about his hat back heavy
Mm-hmm.
is that you have a tail hitbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like you never hit it basically.
Oh.
So like you're not getting the maximum damage out the back heavy. And also the charge just does like a little bit more than just normal Barioth charge.
Oh.
Like he does a lot of damage, but like I don't think he's like A tier. Everybody else, I feel like A does like an X factor where it does a little bit more damage.
Hmm.
That's why I think the alphas to be.
All right, that's fair. I would say at least out of all the chart, but here's my thing. Would we really want to keep Barioth or Baroth and Diablos in the same tier? Because I feel like they both do the same things. It's just Diablos does it better. So should we move Baroth down?
I mean, no. Just because one does it better doesn't mean the other one is just like a tier down. It just means that one is just better.
Okay.
But like,
All
yeah,
right.
I mean, I don't really think it brings it down. It's just more like if, I mean, in the end of the day, you're going to use every monster on the field if you want to Wyvernride, so it doesn't really matter.
All right. True.
But like, if you had the option of just spawning one in, yeah, you always pick Diablos, obviously.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. Goss Harag, C tier.
He's so slow for no reason.
He's a well, his movement speed is decent on land, but
He's
his
so
attack,
slow when he attacks.
but his attack is so slow. And the real criminal thing about Gossarog is that you can't actually use him when he's in his charged or his ice blade,
yeah.
his ice blade state, which is the real crime to his Wyvernride. He doesn't have any range. He doesn't have any ranged. He doesn't have. He only has really a gap closer fist, but sometimes that would either get interrupted or even in some cases dodged because you can miss that fairly easy.
And for some reason, I feel like he doesn't do that much damage.
Yeah, and he doesn't do that much damage, and he doesn't ice blight. Like, he's not that great. Really great design and really great monster, just not that great Wyvernride.
I just wish his ice blade were at least in his Punisher. Like he put the ice blades and then attacked.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
then
that ice blighted the monster.
Definitely, but he doesn't.
Yeah. All of these Punishers should have been something else, honestly.
Yeah.
Like that's what I feel like. Like Anjanath should have been like his breath attack, and now it's just like biting. It's like, okay, dude, we got it.
No, it's the Yoshi jump.
Yoshi jump.
Yeah, that's his finisher.
It's bad.
I know. Baggy.
Oh, we're getting
Baggy. Where do we put Baggy at?
He goes at least. He goes. I feel like he goes A.
He goes
simply because
A?
his Punisher sleeps.
Oh,
because I think the sleep is super good.
Oh yeah, true. But I want to say B because I mean, all right.
I feel like here's the thing: the wake up hit just does so much damage if you have the right person. Like if you have a greatsword user, that's like so much damage.
Well, here's my thought process on it. He doesn't have any other attacks but his finisher. So
I mean,
I'm willing
he does
to put him
damage.
I mean, all he does is like a couple of hip checks and then finisher. So I feel like comboing wise, I wouldn't put Baggy next to Basil or any of them, but definitely I would say Baggy's the best out of like Izuchi and Ragi.
High B.
So yeah, he's at least high B. He's up there with Diablos.
Yeah, kind of weird, but I mess with it.
You mess with it.
Kind of funny.
Put in some respect on Great funny. Baggy.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have Great Izuchi, which is probably one of my favorite bird wyverns, if not actually my favorite bird wyvern next to Malfestio.
He's my second favorite.
Who's your first?
I just really like Great Macau.
Yeah.
I just really like him. I think he's just B tier.
He's just B?
Honestly, I think I think he's like next to Diablos and like Anjanath, funny enough. Because he just does so much damage so fast.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna cap. He really does. He's at least middle of B tier. It's just that he's so crazy fast. you can do a lot of damage with Great Izuchi and really good damage at that early game
Yeah, for
in
being
pretty
literally the
late
first
game.
monster you fight, like it does so much damage for being the
And he's
first monster
fast.
you see.
And he's fast on
Yeah, he's
land.
super.
So
Yeah,
definitely B tier.
definitely the most respectable raptor.
Mm-hmm. Then we got Great Roggy, and I kind of want to say C tier.
See, he's
He's
just
so
worse
slow.
baggy.
He's so slow, and he doesn't. His poison isn't really that damaging. His moves aren't really damaging, and he doesn't really have a great finisher.
Yeah,
But he has great armor, though. So
cowboy. Give him that. Okay,
yeehaw,
fish.
Roggy.
Froggy's so bad. Let's go to the other person.
I know, which is also pretty bad because it's Geratotus.
It's bad, but he's easy A tier.
Why do you say Geratotus is A tier?
Water blight. I think water blight is like the most broken status you can put on a monster.
Okay. So we're no. I give him B tier because
No, it did.
his
Think
water
about
blight
it.
move.
Water.
I'm
No, you
saying
have to think about it this way.
okay.
Every Wyvernride ends with a dismount, right? That
Yeah.
leads to a monster staying on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I count that as part of the Wyvernride because that's the reason why they do that, right? In the end.
Okay.
So some monsters are actually going to be affected by that later on. But any monster that water blights is just broken because like you do the damage with it and then you do extra damage because every part's softened.
All right.
So that's why I think
Fine.
he's A tier.
So all right. I guess we're giving Geratotus A
Dude, I
tier
fucking
based off of
despise.
water.
I despise him, but like I
Well,
gotta
I'm
give
just
him props at
comparing it to
least.
the other water blight people. So
I mean, just because you compare him to the other one doesn't
all
mean he's
right.
like broken. Like I think,
All right.
like I'm saying overall, yeah, he's also really good.
Okay.
Because like,
All he has is
yeah,
a hip
like
check.
hip check. Uh, yeah, I mean, at least the hip check's pretty good and
Uh,
has a lot of range for being a hip check.
I guess here we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and go A. But then we have Kezu. I want
Okay.
to. Do you say definitely
Uh,
A?
B. I say B.
I want to say B because me with Kezu, I want to say B because his attacks aren't really that great, but he's fucking fast. Like he's so fast for no
okay,
reason.
now honorary mention to Kezu. He is like one of the fastest rival rides for no reason. Like he's like keeping up with Valstrax fast for no reason, or like Rajang. It makes no sense.
Rajang, and he only really has the forward light attack where his head extends forward, and then he has the like
Back heavy
thunder.
with the like discharge.
Yeah, I mean they Thunderblight. They just don't do a lot of damage.
Okay, here's my problem with
But he is
Thunderblight.
fast.
I feel like that wastes. I feel like Thunderblight on a monster Wyvernride, if you are with people, is a waste of a stun because people like stun the monster and then the Wyvernride knocks them down anyways.
True.
That's my problem with Thunderblight. Like if you're solo, you can be smart and like attack parts that's not the head, and then attack the head when like the monster's up and then get a stun, which is great. But like if you're online, you're basically wasting a stun.
True.
Like most of the time if you have a thunder monster.
True. There's only like a few thunder monsters that are actually like can avoid this problem. There's only actually 2. Which is kind of ironic.
That's my problem.
Which is kind of ironic because there's only like 4 thunder monsters and only 3 of them are wyvern rideable.
That's not a lot.
Yeah, I know. There's actually surprisingly not a lot of thunder monsters in this game. There's a lot of fire monsters. Like Jesus, there's a crap ton of fire monsters.
There is.
Anyways, Kulu Yaku. I kind of want to say C. Actually,
yeah. He's just. I mean, he's semi-fast. Like he doesn't do a lot of damage.
I mean, yeah. I kind of want to say he's kind of the worst wyvern ride in the game because he doesn't.
At least he doesn't hinder your
anything.
teammates.
I guess. So we're saying Mudron's the worst.
I just like the fact that he's like a lot of his attacks are slow. A lot of it can miss with the mud, which is just like extra damage if you hit. Also, his Punisher is just garbage.
True.
Like his Punisher, like I actively have to be hugging the monster for it to do anything. Well, if they're like kind of far away, it only one hitbox hit and it's like 50 damage.
True.
Like a barrel bomb does more damage.
True. You're right. Anyways, onwards to one of, if not the best Wyvernride in the game, Kushala, coming in at S. Honestly, probably even should make an
Easy
S
S.
plus. Even probably should make an S plus tier for fucking Kushala because his Wyvernride is insane.
Fine.
I know.
I think they're all relatively similar.
I know, but
Dude,
genuinely,
all you have to do is just back heavy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. His back heavy is the most damaging Wyvernride move in the game, hence why he is S tier. He's also insanely fast on land. You can get to anywhere, and his attacks come out really fast too. So he's just
like every attack is super fast.
Yeah,
his Punisher also does I think it does the most damage too. Like I think it does more damage than Valstrax.
Yeah,
because he does like the Thunder Slam and then the Wing Blast.
Yeah,
which both does like so much damage.
Yeah, his Punisher is like insane too. He's just so good. There's nothing more I could really say on Kushala.
Yeah. A funny thing about Kushala that I always think is that when you try to speedrun All Mother, if you don't get any Wyvernride that isn't Kushala, you just quit because I think he has the fastest.
Exactly. That's why Kushala is the best Wyvernride in the game. Like he does so much damage, especially to larger targets. Getting in those tornadoes or more tornadoes is just going to be like an instant clap.
Yeah, instant GG.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get so much of them too.
Lagombi, C tier, because Lagombi feels like a worse Arzaros. Like, I'm not lying when I say this.
I think it's just. Nah, I think they're the same. Like
same.
A little bit better than Arzaros. Yeah, you get Ice Blight, but like
no,
he's still kind of slow.
Wait, Lagombi gives off Ice Blight?
No, yeah,
because last time I
snowballs.
rode him. Wait, how do you use the snowballs?
Really?
No, I don't think he uses
just backlight.
No, I don't think he uses the snowballs. Like, because last time I rode him, like he does the swinging bear attacks, and he's like super slow. Honestly, like Arzaros is faster than him.
I haven't rode him in a while. He's probably my least ridden. Like he's like barely anywhere.
Oh yeah, same. He's probably honestly my least ridden after Barioth.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, no, he's probably my least ridden overall. That or Kulu-Yaku.
He just doesn't show up anywhere because like he's like a beginner monster. So like all the end game fights, he just doesn't show up.
True, and plus I feel like Arzaros does more damage than Lagombi, anyways. Even with this finisher, so I'm gonna just put him C. But MagnaMalo though, defo S.
S. Now this is like, it's funny because MagnaMalo can be S tier or B tier super quickly depending on the Hellblight that he has on his parts. So MagnaMalo is like actually the only Wyvernride that you actively have to buff him to be great. Like honestly, you don't have to buff every part of him. All you need to buff is the tail. Once you have the tail, it's over, right? So, yeah. But at least MagnaMalo always starts with his tail, like buffed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you get near him, so like that doesn't really matter. Like you can just use like a spider or like get him instantly. But if there's like a naked MagnaMalo with no like Hellfire, he's super bad. Actually, it's kind of funny. But he is still S tier simply because like the Hellfire thing shouldn't really matter because he always has it.
And even when he doesn't have his Hellfire, he's not that bad because you could just spam out forward heavy, and you do like a very fast 2-hit attack that does decent amount of damage, like really good damage.
I still think it's like B tier without any Hellfire.
Well, yeah,
it's like Diablos.
I feel like it's A tier without Hellfire, but
nah, B. He's like Diablos.
All right. But definitely MagnaMalo, Hellfire, you're almost always going to have it. He's definitely S tier. Wizard Beam.
Like as long as you have it on the tail. You're like fine.
Yeah.
Like that's all you really needed.
Now, the next one on the list is very interesting because I can go either way with this one, and the next one is
Mizu, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
Mizutsune.
it's SS tier. If we
SS,
put fish on A, dude, if we put fish in A, he's an S. Like he he just does more damage than fish and still water blights.
and he's so fast. Mizutsune is so incredibly fast.
He actually like dances on like around monsters so easily, and like he leaves like little water bubble mines, like with some of his heavy attacks that does extra damage if you hit him.
Mm-hmm. He is,
But he's S.
yeah, definitely
I
S tier.
So
Definitely,
the
definitely
simple
S tier.
fact that he did the backlight does the water beam that water blights, that's like instant S tier, and he does like the damage, like he does great damage. He's easy S. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, true. Easy S. Then we got Nargacuga. I'm gonna say B.
Just next to his buddy Diablos.
Yeah.
Little
And
buddy.
reason being is because Nargacuga's attacks like to come up short and is very wonky trying to aim them. His
It's
finisher
because like his back heavy is like a tail slam and like he jumps back,
jumps.
so like it
Yeah.
actually gets less range.
Yeah, you
It's
have to
so
like
weird.
be right up on the monster, but you know his forward light attacks are very fast. He's a very fast Wyvernride. His tail slam when you do hit it does a lot of damage, and he has a little like spinning AOE attack that's really good. And his finisher is decent, so very average Wyvernride.
Like I think Diablo is better because like it just does more damage easier.
And then we got Puke, which I'm gonna say B tier.
But yeah, it's just better Roggy. Like
Yeah, just better Roggy. Like you have a back heavy that also is
beam,
an
like a
approaching.
poison beam.
Oh really? That's no, I thought that was back light. That was, oh no, yeah, back heavy's poison beam, and then you have the back light, which is the charging attack with
Pretty
the
sure that's just
lick.
his poison spit.
Oh, then it's the forward light attack that's his charging attack with his lick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he has multiple ways to poison you, and he does a lot of damage, especially in the Rampage. Puke is actually like A tier in the Rampage, definitely for how wide of his attack.
The lick does.
Yeah,
Actually,
attack
the
can
lick
do.
I think it's forward heavy. Like it does a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, yeah, I think it is forward heavy, but he has a very excellent approach tool. Honestly, I kind of want to put Puke to A tier. Now that I think about it.
Nah, it's B.
Okay. Oh well, yeah, you're
It's
right.
B.
His damage isn't really that good
And his moves
outside of
do take a little bit to
Rampage.
come out. Like the lick takes a little bit to come out,
Oh
and
yeah,
the poison beam
yeah,
takes
you're
a little
right.
bit to come out.
You're right. But he's definitely high B
And at
tier.
least Basil, yeah, at least Basil does like a lot of damage when he's slow.
True.
Of the bombs.
True. Puke is definitely at least high B tier, but he's B tier.
Yeah.
Now, Rachna. I kind of want to say C tier for Rachna.
I just don't feel like she at least has the damage to be B tier. Like she's not like Gostrog where like it's slow and does like criminally not a lot of damage for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Also, her Punisher is good. Like you won't miss it.
True. Also, I just realized
Like,
sorry for cutting you off. Also, I realized there's another thunder monster, so there's like a total of 5 of them, but keep on going.
yeah, like no, it's just kind of like B tier. Like she's like Nargacuga, Diablos, but like she just does a lot of damage. But like her downside is just like she's really slow. Like
And her moves are very wonky to aim and hit.
no, they're not hard to hit. Like the the heavies are like super easy to hit. They have long range. They like target. She has one where it's like the web
That was
beam, like the 5 web beams. You don't miss. You don't miss that.
Oh.
Like if you miss that, you're actively trying to miss it.
Oh.
Like,
I thought like her best attack was definitely her AoE like fire cloud.
back heavy.
Yeah.
The fire cloud is her Punisher though.
Oh,
Like her mount the Punisher.
true. Yeah,
That's why you don't miss it.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down, man. But I think she's just way too slow. And I mean, like, when I mean way too
Yeah,
slow, I
that's
mean
why she's
like
not A.
she's so you say she's B.
Yeah, because like the thing about Gotsrog is that he's slow and he doesn't do a lot of damage for some reason.
Okay.
That's why he's in C. Well, Rachna at least has the damage.
All right. So
She is slow
so
though.
I guess she does have the damage. It's just I feel like she's just such a wonky. She's just such a wonky Wyvernride, but
For me, I feel like Narkuga's wonkier because like he should be hitting attacks that
all right.
like you hit. It's like
All right, to be fair. He
yeah, like if you put Narkuga like in B, even though he's like super wonky for like no reason, I feel like Growlock's fine.
I feel like Nargacuga being wonky for no reason is just a slap in the face because it's Nargacuga. But all
Yeah.
right, I get it. And so Rachna is in B, but Rathalos though, I
Oh, A.
A. Okay,
A.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
do we put him in A or S? Because like the Wizard Beam goes crazy. Like his little like flamethrower burnout move is so
Yeah.
good.
Actually,
I-
I think he's A. Yeah. I think he does damage. Like he does the same amount of damage as Basil, relatively speaking, but like he does it faster, and he
Okay,
has range.
okay.
Okay. But something low key sleeper about Rathalos is that you get hit to be on the floor and then you do the double bite attack. Like the double like bite attack for no reason. That does the most damage.
Oh,
You have to try
and
it.
he can poison. And he can poison with his backlight talon move,
Yeah.
or his
And
finisher.
even if you don't even if you don't poison, his finisher does it for you anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So like you're guaranteed to have a monster at least poisoned and burned. Like guaranteed. Like his finisher
True,
does both.
true. He is definitely
Yeah.
A
But
tier.
the secret tech with Rathalos is that you get him hit to be on the floor and then you do the heavy on the floor. Like it does like 250 damage each bite and he does two of them really fast.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like try. So basically, try ground Rathalos. As weird as that sounds.
You have to play ground Rathalos and not sky Rathalos.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Can't Rathalos also go up into the sky?
He does that automatically. Like he moves around in the air.
Yeah.
Which is the coolest thing about Rathalos. It's cool that he actually flies actively when you ever ride him.
Raytheon.
Gives it
Oh,
Raytheon.
you were
I
saying
think she's actually A.
you were saying about Rathalos before we move on?
I'm just saying that like he flies. Like the fact that his animation of why I'm riding is him flying is really cool.
True.
It's a cool touch.
Okay, Raytheon. You say A. Tail flip,
Yeah.
really good. Tail flip does amazing damage, and you can poison.
She's a slightly worse Rathalos, and that's why she's an AT.
Yeah, she also fire blights, has a that fire blast attack, or the fireball attack. And I would say if we are putting Roggy in C tier and Phuket in B tier, definitely Raytheon is the A tier poison dealer because she can deal it faster, and she has other hard hitting attacks, and her Wyvernride finisher is better than Phuket and Roggy.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that there's only like 4 poison dealers in the game, with one of them being Bishotten, but you can either count him or not because he also gives paralysis.
Oh no, he only throws the poison fruits.
Also Bosario's poisons. I forgot Bosario's poisons.
Yeah, he does. He poisons and fire blight too with his farts.
Yeah.
Depends on how he's feeling.
And he can also sleep you.
Yeah. Oh wait, does he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you might be thinking of Urgon.
No, not Uragon. Bosarios also sleeps, or Gravios. But I know Bosarios has to
it's
sleep.
weird.
I know it's weird. Sometimes he can poison, and other times he can sleep. It feels, depending on what
I think
game.
he poisons instead of sleeps. I think Gravios the one that sleeps.
No, I could have sworn.
And like,
we'll look that up later. But moving on to Royal Ludrath, I give him B. B or A, because he can water blight.
I think A. If we put Fish up here, I think he also deserves A, like low A. It's because the water blight is too broken. you just do so much damage like after you knock down the monster and get off him.
All right.
That like it's so valuable. Like when you see, it's funny because when I see a like Diablos, I'm like, hell yeah, it's a good Wyvernride. I see fish, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna water blight this bitch. I don't even think of Geratotus. I'm just like, hell yeah, water blight.
I guess.
Like,
Dang, Royal Ludrath is up here based on just water blighting. So like base
yeah,
level water monsters are always going to be A tier.
Yeah, I it's that good. I feel like because like follow up attacks with the hunters are just too strong. Like with the other ones, like you don't really have that except like Roggy or Baggy, like in B tier, the one that sleeps.
True.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to the monster I hate later on that sleeps too.
Then we got Somnicanth.
The C tier.
Definitely not C tier. Somnicanth is definitely
Dude.
A.
No.
Somnicanth is so fast and does so much damage. Like
Dude, Vermonted Punisher puts them to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And then she attacks for you.
Okay.
That is terrible.
I look, I could say Somnicanth could be B tier because even all that aside, I won't say Somnicanth is C tier because Somnicanth has some really good combos. So I feel like Somnicanth is on the same level as Baggy, but for a different reason. As in Somnicanth's actual moves are good and damaging, but the finisher sucks, while Baggy's moves suck, but his finisher's awesome. So
middle C tier.
I'm not saying middle C. I'm not saying middle C tier.
I don't think she's. I think she's slow, like in her strong attacks.
Okay, so she got jumping attack that's your bread and butter that comes out fast. Then you have backlight, which throws the needles that does pretty good damage.
The needles the needles are kind of bad, honestly. They don't go that far.
I mean, they're good to weave.
They don't do that much damage.
It's good to weave in a combo because you can basically go back heavy and then weave the light into the needles and just set up for another back heavy. And then you also have that whipping attack, which is the front heavy. I definitely say it's B tier because the damage isn't that bad. It's comparable to that of Aknasom, and it's also comparable to that of Nargacuga. So for that, I can't really give Somnicanth like anything lower than B. But the finisher is what keeps Somnicanth definitely going to A tier.
This is a begrudging fine because I don't like Somnicanth.
I know.
Wyvernride.
Now.
Also that stupid thing where like it takes her a second for her to stand up, which like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like you can't animation cancel it.
Yeah, but decent combo though. Now Teostra.
Yeah,
S tier.
Just us.
Does so much damage.
All the Elder Dragons. All the other dragons.
They just do so much damage, but I would say
Teostra's definitely the
second worst.
I wish he blast blighted. That'd been fun.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. But I would say he's second worst in S. Chameleos is definitely worse. Then Teostra's the second worst. Well, Kushala is the best, and then from there you can make an argument between like three people. Wait, but don't spoil it because we're gonna get to there in a minute. But Teostra just does a lot of damage, and he has a very fast light attack with the bitch smack.
And he's speed demon.
Also, yeah, he is actually fairly fast.
All the dragons are just fast.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's basically why he's S tier. Enough said. Now Tetranodon, yeah. C or B?
Dude, he's nowhere. Dude, he water blights.
Oh, so he's
Come
A.
On.
Oh, so he's A.
Yeah. Functionally, all water blight monsters are A tier. I don't care what you say.
Okay.
The water blight too strong of a stat. It's just softening the whole body instantly.
All right,
That's too strong.
and honestly, Tetranodon does have pretty decent damage. Like I would say, I would choose Tetranodon over Royal Ludrath, and I would be okay moving
Oh no,
Royal
Sam.
Ludrath down to B. But like Water Blight is
No.
very big, so if Tetranodon's better than Royal Ludrath, then Tetranodon is an A tier no matter what.
Yeah. I just think Water Blight is that good that they're just
I mean, yeah, that's
up
true.
here.
Yeah, that's true. Now, Tigrex, definitely A.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like he actually has like the damage that like I think he has a little bit more damage than Diablos, and he's faster.
Oh yeah, like okay, so I want to make a not a disclaimer but an observation to this list. If you've noticed, everyone besides Tigrex in A tier and in S tier blights somehow, except for like Magnamalo, but
He does the damage, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he does the damage. But Magnamalo does the damage when he's like in boosted form. Tigrex, however, does damage no matter what. He's really fast on land and in combat. His only slow move is his back heavy, which is actually combo food because the strat is that you go back light to throw rocks, back heavy into back heavy again to roar, and that is the most powerful combo.
And then he just charges to approach.
And he charges. And he charges up, so he could do even more damage. Really, really great. Like, defo A tier.
Yeah.
Then, over here, we have Toby Kadachi, which I kind of want to say A tier, too. Or do you say B?
I say B.
B? Okay.
He's better than Kezu at least. I'll give him that.
All right. He's definitely high B.
That'd be, yeah.
I think
like, I still say Thunderblight is a very awkward status or ailment for a monster to have as a Wyvernride.
True. You have your needles, but I mean, you can save your needles for later. But unless his little tail slam does the Thunderblight, but I thought his needles do.
The tail slam does Thunderblight.
Oh, then yeah, he's definitely B.
Heavy.
Yeah, he's definitely B because you're gonna be spamming out that back tail slam because that's like his best move and is really good distance closer, like gap closer. His
normal A, like the one that he like glides, like he rolls at the monster.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, he's a good B too. Thunderblight is just very awkward for like online play.
True.
Because like I've never had a time where I Thunderblighted a monster online and they haven't gotten stunned, and then I just hit them again with the Wyvernride and just wasted the stun.
That's fair.
Unless I was like a hammer user, actively go for the head beforehand. Like I have to plan ahead to Wyvernride a Thunderblight monster.
Also, Toby Kadachi's damage isn't that high, so that's also probably a reason.
High.
I mean, it's pretty high. It's pretty high, but
his back slam does like 450. Like, it does a shit ton for no reason.
It's pretty high, but it's not higher than the other two that are about to come up.
3, you forgot one.
Well, so where are we putting Volvidon?
Honestly, solid B.
Solid B. I mean, he is pretty fast. I mean, his only good attack is the back heavy, licking people.
I mean, the back. Yeah, I mean, he's like he's a trained sniper with the tongue. He actually has a lot of range.
Oh.
He can also paralyze.
Isn't his finisher paralyzing spit?
No, that's like his backlight. Oh. But it's on the same boat as stunning people.
Yeah, I know.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But at least when you paralyze them, you can still hit them on like stuns with like knocks them over again.
True.
So like you can start with a paralysis and just keep licking them.
Mm.
Like, at least it works better with the Wyvernride, but it's still pretty bad because you're wasting a paralysis.
True.
Unless, like, you're starting to build it up. Like, you paralyze the monster one time and then you want to do, like, a spit to build up the paralysis, which is pretty good, but it's, like, the same boat as Thunder Monsters. Like, he's a B tier.
And next one on the list is my good boy, Zinogre. Defo A.
Yeah, solid A.
He's
Solid A,
solid.
yeah.
He's solid A. He moves fast. He attacks fast. The correct combo would be like back light to do tail flip into your forward into your forward heavy into back heavy.
Yeah. Or you can do normal, like, light to, like, approach them, because that's, like, his dash paw slams.
I thought that was forward heavy.
Oh, same difference.
Oh, well, essentially, you forward heavy to dash towards them, and then you back light to do your flipping tail flip.
No, forward heavy is tackle into, like, heavy slam, but, like, his normal light attack is, like, you approach them and then do, like, normal slams, except, like, the heaviest way you do, like, the heavy one is, like, the shoulder bash into the strong heavy slam.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's forward heavy to close the distance, back light to do the flipping tail. You go forward heavy or back heavy, depending on like where your bar's at, I believe.
Yeah. I would say save the heavy attacks for like. I mean, the problem with Zinogre is he's Thunderblights. Like, he's awkward because, like, he'll stun them. It's like you don't want to use his heavies, but you have to because that's where your damage
But
comes
at
from.
least the back heavy is the one that applies Thunderblight, and it does amazing
No, it's both
damage.
heavies.
Oh, it's both heavies? Oh. Then
because it does the charge slam.
But his lights are really powerful, and also Zinogre has his charged up form where he can do even more power or like powerful attacks.
He's like A tier. Yeah. He's definitely A tier. Because at least Thunderblight's like if you already stunned a monster, you can stun them again. And like if you already stunned them, it's like they're good.
Yeah, true. And
he at least has the damage to back up the Thunderblight.
So and if you do it correctly and you just stick to doing like back tail flips and forward attacks, you can at least make the Thunderblight last longer and not be used up towards the end. So he could just attack with his lights and then go into forward light, back heavy, and then to finisher.
Apply those Thunderblights towards the end,
yeah, and then go into finisher, and then he does so much damage and he's really fast, and then you get a knockdown monster that's Thunderblighted, so you can go for another knockdown if needed.
Then
and then last but not least, Rajang
Monkey.
S tier because he does
sit him next to AnimeALX.
Sit him next to AnimeALX. No, but definitely Monkey is S tier. Does a lot of damage, and then does even a more insane amount of damage when he's charged up, and even more insane amount of damage when he's doubly charged up
with the fists.
With the fists.
Like Rajang, like technically the best thing you can do is just slowly spam back heavy with the beam, but like it's really fun just to do his like normal combos with like the hands when you charge them up because they do even more damage.
I feel like if you have Rajang fully charged up with his little anchor arms, or Kaioken as I like to say, then you can go ham with his forward light attacks and his back light spin attacks, and then go into the beam.
Oh no, it's the heavy forward heavy is
well yeah, you can go backlight is
the
charging
backlight
punches.
Is the Thunderball.
Oh yeah, backlight is Thunderball. Yeah, you can like try to approach someone with the forward punches with the forward light, or go forward heavy into a combo, and then you can basically back Thunderball them, or you could just keep on, or you could backlight Thunderball them, or you could keep on like beaming them until you're into your finisher, and then you can finish it off with back Thunderballing, and then into back beam, and then your finisher.
With Rajang, you want to save the backlight towards the end because that's the one that applies the Thunderblight.
Yeah.
The thing about Rajang is that off his only one move does Thunderblight, and it's the one that does the least damage.
I know. That's the
So like
irony.
every single other Thunderblight monster does that's like their main damaging move, but with Rajang it's like it does. I think it's either second or the worst one that does the least damage. So you can save it for like the last second to Thunderblight them into your finisher.
True.
So that's why I think he's the best Thunderblighter because he can save it towards the end. So at
Definitely,
least
definitely. Zinogre at least comes second place. His light combos are really good into his Thunder Call, but Rajang does have him beat when it comes to controlling the Thunderblight.
yeah, he's an S tier. Like he's the best Thunderblighter because he can actually use his strongest combos without wanting to like save it.
Yeah, true. But that's the tier list. Hope everyone enjoys. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and come check me out on twitch.tv/AnimeALX, and the link will be in the description. With all that being said, see you in the next one. Peace out, all my fellow weebs and weebettes.